Hi everyone, I'm Tony Jackson. Here is your weekly reading for the 6th of March 2017 through to the 12th of March 2017. What I like to do each week is get in contact with my guides and angels, connect with my guides and angels, and bring through a message or a process or something I can share with you from my angels. And what they actually said this week, it's actually a good week to connect with or bring in what they called a soulmate teacher. So I thought that was very interesting. And when I asked a little bit more, and also what I know about soulmates, it said that somebody's coming in that's going to help us with something, and they called it a soulmate teacher. Now, what this person could be, it could be somebody that doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friend. It could be a relative that you perhaps haven't connected to very often and you need to learn something from. Or it could be anybody that is coming in to help you. Now, usually with soulmates, you resonate quite deeply and there's almost like an instant attraction or an instant knowingness, or you feel like you've known them before. Well, you may have, but often or not, it's a new person coming in that you kind of like instantly. And in this case, they're calling them a soulmate teacher. Now, there are different types of soulmates. And sometimes the soulmates can be your friends and relatives. So that's one type of soulmate. And then sometimes you can have karmic soulmates, which you have to work through your karma with. This particular soulmate's got some valuable information or valuable resources or something that you really need at this time in your life. So it's going to tick a lot of boxes for you. And the interesting thing is you actually have a lot of things that you can help them. So it's mutually beneficial. And it's something that you need, something that you've got to learn, and it's going to be very helpful. Now, as I said, it's not always a romantic partner, but it is possible. I'm kind of feeling if it's a soulmate teacher that they're talking about, then if it's a romantic one, it's more likely that it's going to be a relationship that's going to teach you something to prepare you for a better relationship or the life partner. But I'm not going to put too many guidelines on it because the message that I got was there's a soulmate teacher ready to enter your life. So I guess it could be actually a spiritual teacher where you actually, or any type of teacher where you actually learn from it, and they learn from being the teacher and you learn from being the student. But I had a feeling since it's a soulmate, it could be like a mutual beneficial friendship, relationship, work colleague, something along those lines that you can actually help each other a lot. So we're going to do a couple of affirmations so you can bring in your soulmate. Now, it may be what I feel is preordained, which means perhaps there was an agreement before you entered this life that you were going to meet with this soulmate. So there could be like a contract set up where you have an agreement already that you're going to come through at a certain time and meet each other at a certain time in your life and give yourselves a hand to move to the next level. So there could be what I call a contract set up. Now, there is a bit of a free will involved here too. So whether you may, when it is preordained, when you do what I have a contract, you still have a bit of free will whether you want to fulfill it or not. So I feel in this case of the soulmate teacher, there's a bit of free will involved. So you may or may not still meet them. I feel it's going to be a benefit for us all if we fulfill the contract and we allow the meeting to happen. Now, it might not necessarily be this week. It might be later in the year. It could be next month. It could be next year. I'm feeling we need to work on it this week. Hopefully they might even come in this week, but it could be for later on in the month or even later on in the year. I don't know the timing of it, but I do know that it's a good time that we invite them into our lives. So it actually may have going to be already happened. You may already be set up and ready to meet them and have no blocks. But an awareness that they are coming is also going to help you as well. Now, you may have already met soulmate teachers already in your life. It may not be the first soulmate teacher you've met, so there will be a familiarity. It's not like something huge that you've never experienced, but it will be something that you don't know and you need to know, you need to learn, and you need to get in touch with. For example, if you're starting a business or something, this soulmate may have some wonderful ideas about how you go about your business, and then they may need help in another way and you're going to help them. So it will be mutually beneficial. If you need a relationship, you may need to be something about relationships that you may need to learn, which then helps you to create a better relationship. It could be with that person. I'm not saying that it couldn't be a romantic partner that then you spend the rest of your life in. It is possible. But what I am saying, the terminology that I was given from the angels is there's a soulmate teacher about to enter our lives. So what I'm going to do is we're going to ask the angels and guides for something, for an affirmation, something like I feel we would need to say to invite them in. Now, even if you didn't say this, they still might be coming, but if we say it and make sure that we don't miss out on it and fulfill our contract with this person, the contract being the agreement that was made before this lifetime. You probably said, look, at this certain age, I might like to meet up with you so you can check I'm all right and I'll check you're all right, and then you might go on your merry way. It might not necessarily mean it's a long-term connection or a long-term relationship. It could be something shorter term, like a week, a month, or a year. It could be for the rest of your life. So there's a lot left out to we don't know about, but what we do know is there's a soulmate teacher coming. What you could say, it is my free will and choice to accept this soulmate teacher into my life, if it be for my highest good in love and light. I now accept the contracts and agreements that are for my highest good, that are in love and light. I choose to fulfill my contracts and agreements with my soulmate teacher, if it be for my highest good in love and light. I think that affirmation's just going to allow them in, just in case we, for some reason, wasn't sure that it was coming or didn't understand it. And we'll just wait and see. So what I felt was all we need to say is, it's my free will and choice to allow my soulmate teacher to fulfill my contracts and agreements with my soulmate teacher. Now, you may have no idea who it is and what the contract is, but it doesn't matter because you'll know as soon as they enter your life. You may not even be aware when they enter your life and you've been friendly with this person, and then a little bit down the track you realise, gosh, that person helped me a lot. So sometimes we're unaware of when it actually happens, but if we do the work by allowing them in, then it's going to be good for all of us. So it's my free will and choice to allow myself to fulfill the contracts and agreements with my soulmate teacher, if it be for my highest good. I just want to say again, it will be mutually beneficial. So it's not like you're helping them all the time and they don't help you, or they help you all the time and you don't help them. It's mutually beneficial. So and it's like a compatibility there that you may not have felt before. So that's kind of a little bit of a clue when you've met them. You kind of help each other a lot. Now, I'm actually going to choose a card as well, and the card deck I chose is the Romance Angels from Doreen Virtue. I have used them in one of my previous readings. Now, I did say it's not necessarily going to be a romantic partner, this soulmate teacher, but it could be. So I will pick a card from this deck. Archangel Michael helps with soulmates, so you could actually say as well, Archangel Michael, please open me up to meeting my soulmate. Please help me to release any blocks or resistance that I may have to meeting this soulmate teacher. And that will just be enough to just allow it in. As I said, you can create a block through free will and not knowing about it, but my guides and angels said start this week working on it. It could be a little bit down the track when they actually enter your life, but it's a good time to ask for it now. What I like to do with my card readings, I do mention this in all my videos, and I think the sun's going down, so the light's just shining in as the sun goes down there. It's getting a little bit darker. What I like to do with all my card readings, as you may have noticed in my other videos, and actually I was going to mention too, you can go back and watch any other videos that I've done and do the processes in those videos, because a lot of the processes can be done at any time during the year. You might come across one of my older videos and feel like it's quite resonant with what you need at that time. It's just when I tune in, they say the energy's quite heightened to work on a particular thing for that week. And this week they're talking about soulmate teachers. When I do readings with the cards, I like to hold the deck close to my heart chakra and visualize a light coming down through the chakras. It's a light that you can kind of like that light that's coming from the sun, but this is a universal energy that we can all tap into and all draw on at any time. Bring that universal energy down through your chakras and out through your heart chakras. Circle heart chakra, circle it around the cards, and this energy helps you to really work intuitively with the cards and use them as vibrational tools. It'll help you get a better understanding and deeper understanding and a vibrational connection to the cards, which you begin to get messages that you don't, it's not like you're actually reading the card, you're actually feeling it more, if you know what I mean. So the feeling sense will help you to read the cards. So I like to do that, and that's a good one to work with if you're just starting out with your card readings. So what I'd like to do, I'd just like to pick a card and then get a message for everybody. So just have a little bit of a focus here, that the message that comes through is for the highest and best good for you in love and light. Whatever you need to know, it doesn't really have to be about soulmates, but although I picked the Romance Angels card, so perhaps you need a little bit of message as well about romance. I just picked one intuitively from the beginning. Reconciliation. Isn't that interesting? Reconciliation. Someone from your past is re-entering to your life. Well, isn't that funny? Because that's sort of what I was mentioning, that the soulmate teacher could be someone from the past. So if it is an ex-romantic partner that's coming back, you may have had a contract that hasn't been fulfilled, and the soulmate teacher's coming back to fulfill your contract. So you may only be halfway with somebody and they need to re-enter your life to fulfill your contract. When they said soulmate teacher, I felt like it was somebody new, somebody that you haven't met, although I did mention it could have been a friend or relative, but I never thought perhaps it could have been an old romantic partner that's coming back that you need to finish stuff with. And often when they re-enter your life, they've had time to sort through their own things and a lot of stuff. They've learnt a lot of stuff that they want to share with you. So it is possible that the soulmate teacher that's coming through is an old romantic partner. Isn't that funny? I wasn't expecting that, but yes, that is could be the case. And reconciliation means, I feel like it's not that you're resolving so much old hurts and pain with this person, although it could be. It's more like you need to update yourself and said, well, thank you for coming back into my life because we needed to reconnect, learn a little bit more from and yeah, there is a bit of resolving the past there too, I guess. So I want to look at this card in two ways, actually. I feel, yes, there is some resolution needed from the past, separate from the soulmate teacher, but the other thing I was getting is it could be an old romantic partner entering your life. Now, if it is, it means they've updated themselves and they've learnt a lot and they're ready to teach you what they mightn't have been able to teach you when you first met. So you're now both at the soulmate level where you can help each other. Don't want to get too complicated, but from this card I'm getting the message that yes, it could be an old romantic partner re-entering your life that is the soulmate teacher and you actually weren't finished what you need to with them. If it's somebody that you need to sort of forgive and let go of, then that would be the other part of this card, reconciliation. That's not necessarily means that they're a soulmate teacher as such, but in your romantic life, you may need to resolve and reconcile with the past. And if that's the case, then I would say for you to help you reconcile from the past, separate, as I said, from a soulmate teacher, it's my free will and choice to release all past contracts. So you're releasing them and letting go. All past contracts with past romantic partners or past soulmates that are no longer for the highest good. So these are the ones that are done and you need to let go. It's my free will and choice now to release all past contracts with past soulmates to the light. So there may be some that we're done with and we needed to release before we bring in the new ones. And I reconcile any past hurts, any unforgiveness, are now released to the light. Thank you, God and angels. So very interesting. I'm glad we chose that card because I wouldn't have probably thought that could be an old soulmate, romantic soulmate coming back to help you to finish off. Or it could mean, as I said, you needed to resolve some conflicts from the past from a soulmate. Two different things there from that card. So I think that's all. Lovely to spend this time with you. Look forward to next week, and I look forward to hearing any comments you might have once you've watched this, and even when you've met your soulmate teacher that's coming for you. I'll just check if there's anything else. I think we just thank our guides, angels, and higher self for bringing us through that process, and Archangel Michael for linking us with our soulmate teachers or soulmate teacher, and we're done. So lots of love. Bye for now, and see you next week.